Hey guys, this is Neon. I'm back with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
We're doing another live stream. We're going to talk about how not to behave on Twitter if you'd like to keep your job.
Just if you want to be a decent person.
Yeah, amongst other things. But first of all, we have to talk about a little incident we had earlier tonight.
Okay.
Geeky,
go
ahead and explain it.
We did get the Poopsie unicorn.
Poopsie the unicorn has been acquired, yes.
We decided we were going to do a pre-recorded video of it because we didn't know how long it would take or anything like that. So we have pre-recorded the video of Poopsie. It was an interesting experience.
Poopsie exploded.
I did. Apparently, I don't know how to follow directions.
Poopsie exploded.
And Poopsie was all over herself.
Oh,
So it was a very entertaining video. I am not very good at toy reviews.
you could charge good money for that video.
We're going to put it up later.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I do not do toy reviews. I am not a toy review channel.
No.
There is a good reason.
It's hilariously awful. I'm gonna try to get it edited maybe later tonight or tomorrow morning. We can watch the Poopsie the unicorn.
I don't know what to call that.
Horror film. It was catastrophic.
You guys, they were watching it again,
Oh
just
my
laughing at it
God.
again because it was awful. I don't do toy videos. There's a reason. It's one thing I'm not good at. So anyway, I'm not like your new Cookie Swirl C or anything like that.
No.
I'm not gonna have to talk like this and say, "Here we go, little boys and girls. We got a new toy for you."
Oh my God, it'd be so funny if you talked like that though, as Poopsie just like freaking
Exploded all over herself.
explode all over herself.
She was more like
Poopsie the
she was more
unicorn.
like a honestly, she was so trashy. She was more like a sex line worker or something.
Oh my God, I
It's
know
like,
it looks really.
"Hey boys, I'm Poopsie the unicorn."
Yeah, she's got her tats all up and down her arms.
That one
and
did.
her
I even got the
slutty
tattooed
little
one.
holder top. Yeah, so
Yeah, why she exploded was because her diaper covered her belly button. It's a long story.
we will put the video up of Poopsie, the glittering poo unicorn, later tonight or tomorrow. It was horrendous.
So anyway, to the point of what this
so
is.
speaking
make
of
sure
giant
you check out Poopsie.
giant explosions of substances all over yourself on the internet, I guess we're going to talk about how not to behave on Twitter. If you want to keep your freaking job, okay?
There's a reason why you should always behave professionally. First of all, I think Twitter, it's become this thing, Tumblr and Twitter. There's a certain, I don't want to say generation, but there's a certain group.
It is. I think it's.
And
well,
basically, they were raised on Twitter and Tumblr, and they believe that for whatever reason, that means because they grew up on it, that's their own personal platform to say whatever the flip they want to say, and then when it bites them in the rear end, they act surprised by this, like, what? I'm not allowed to just say what I want to say? And then if someone corrects them on it, then all their mob friends descend upon this person to learn them on things that have nothing to do with what they were talking about. But it's like I can't comprehend the idea that this is their own personal platform and they can just say whatever the hell they want to say.
Okay, so here, I'm just going to read this article and then we're going to discuss it. This article is actually the best one I've seen on it. It has actually made national news. Long and short...
yeah, too late.
Well, the short version is a very entitled intern shot her mouth off on Twitter, wound up telling Homer Hickam, who's a NASA legend...
Yeah, when I saw his name underneath it and then what they said to them, I literally slapped myself in the head. I'm like, it's Homer Hickam! How could you even go work as NASA as an intern and not know who Homer Hickam is?
They made a movie about him.
I'm not a scientist, and I know who Homer Hickam is. I'm like, oh my God. Anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, so this entitled intern tells Homer Hickam, NASA legend, to suck her dick and balls.
Mm-hmm.
And balls. Okay, so shut the F up. I'm with NASA now. Scientist loses internship over Twitter blue streak. See, look at how profesh NASA looks.
Because when you work for someplace like NASA, you have to conduct yourself. God. When you work any place for a company, you represent a company, you must conduct yourself accordingly. And why is this so hard to understand?
It is hard to understand. We're gonna
October Sky's a good movie.
Yeah, we're gonna segue into comics and animation and gaming and all that. Because this is the mentality across the board, regardless of industry.
I'm on Twitter and Tumblr. I can say whatever I want, bitches. Right.
Yep.
Go ahead.
A not-so-tactful scientist has seen her dream of joining NASA snatched away after she posted several foul-mouthed messages to Twitter while celebrating getting an internship at the space agency. The woman, known as Naomi H., turned the social media platform blue this week after sharing the news of the job offer with the world. Everyone shut the F up. I got accepted for a NASA internship, she wrote. Okay, fine. Her tweet earned a reply from former NASA engineer and member of the National Space Council, Homer Hickam, who gently chastised her for her turn of phrase. Language, Hickam wrote.
But because they clearly didn't know who Hickam was, they just thought, oh look, it's an old white guy.
Yeah.
I bet he's a Republican. He's trying to tell me what I can and can't say. And then
God.
Then it explodes.
Okay, so suck my dick and balls. I'm working for NASA, replied Naomi. And I'm on the National Space Council that oversees NASA, Hickam shot back. And it's in all caps. Apparently, Naomi H., now this person's just like, oh my God, how dare she lose her internship. Apparently, Naomi H. lost her internship over this, and some think that's appropriate because of professionalism, etc.
Sorry.
She's not a professional. She's a not even intern excited about joining NASA. If she's not professional, teach her. No need to advance wreck her career.
Okay. If you flippin' went to college and did the stuff that you were prepared to go be an intern for NASA.
Freaking NASA.
You should have effing learned how to be professional by now. And if you can't learn to be professional by now, there ain't no teaching her. And they all kept saying, why didn't he just message her privately? Because had he messaged her privately, you know what would have happened. Some old guy's on here telling me what I can and can't say.
Yeah.
How dare he? He's trying to censor me. Sorry, I'm just...
God, this is so... This is
like...
like...
How do you not know who Homer Hickam is and go work... We want to be an intern for NASA.
Hey, we've got people writing comic books that have never read comic books, okay? I mean, it's just... This is the way things are now.
Yeah, he's trying to help her. I mean, God love him. He's just like, you know, even though it's not his fault, and they're trying to blame it on him now. They're trying to, they're all like, well, it's his fault anyway. It's his, how is it his fault that you all behave badly?
Okay, so let me continue. It gets better.
So yeah, that wasn't what actually got her in trouble. What got her in trouble was the mob.
Yeah, actually, I will interject here. I would have said to her, instead of I am the on the National Space Council that oversees NASA, my reply to Naomi H. would have been, Google me, bitch.
Well, you wouldn't have said bitch. That's not professional.
That's not professional. But, at that point, when you're being told to suck dick and balls, I don't think you have to be nice. Okay, the exchange later went viral, forcing Naomi to make her account private. Her followers later revealed that NASA had withdrawn the offer. You think? A turn of events for which many fingers of blame pointed at Hickam. This, he later said in his blog, was entirely the wrong interpretation.
Yeah, why is it his fault? Okay, so we'll clarify this for a second. What happened was, after he said something to her about language, then the hate mob of, oh no you didn't, all started dogpiling on him. Probably, I didn't see the tweets, but probably like typical, you misogynist, blah, 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 you're I think this is a trans person, you're anti-trans people, stuff like that. But they kept using the NASA hashtags with it. So, of course, NASA saw it.
NASA's like, what is this crap? Why are all these people...
I mean, it was bad enough this person acted unprofessionally, but then the mob came to defend this person, and the hate mob of defensive hate mob, I think, is more to do with why she lost the internship than anything else. And then they're trying to blame it on Hickam. They're like, well, if he had just written her privately, if he had just done this, if he had just done that. No, if you guys had just kept your mouth shut and acted and put your big people pants on and acted like adults, this wouldn't have got escalated like this. If you hadn't told someone to suck your dick and balls to begin with, this wouldn't have escalated like this. But somebody needs to hold her hand and teach her how to be professional.
Oh my God, this is... No, you get one shot. And you know what? If you blow it, you freaking blow it. Okay, so here's... Especially with NASA.
She wanted to blow something.
So here is Mr. Hickham's entirely too polite response to this ridiculousness. This I had nothing to do with, nor could I, since I do not hire and fire at the agency or have any say on employment whatsoever. Hickam wrote in a blog post Tuesday. As it turned out, it was due to the NASA hashtag her friends used that called the agency's attention to it long after my comments were gone. Because yes, people in the real world, they don't want to deal with this Twitter drama bullshit.
So basically what he did was, after they started ganging up on him and that, he actually logged off, deleted his comments, and went on his day. He wasn't even like, whatever. And they kept it going.
Okay, so Hickam is an aeronautics legend who was the subject of the film October Sky,
You
starring
know who he is.
starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Right, it was a good movie, very good movie. Did pretty good at the box office too, I think. In which he was played by Jake Gyllenhaal. He said Naomi had apologized for her blue streak and added that he was trying to secure her another position in the aerospace agent industry.
Yeah, but it's not his responsibility.
It's not his responsibility.
I mean, he's being nice, but it's not his responsibility. Her behavior and the behavior of her friends, they got what they deserved. That kind of behavior is unacceptable.
Some commentators on Twitter were quick to say she got exactly what her language deserved. I agree with them. Others, meanwhile, were a little more forgiving. If she applied to an internship at NASA and didn't know who Homer Hickam is, she's not smart enough to work for NASA. Nor does she show the proper judgment to work for an organization of that
Which is
caliber.
what I think NASA thought.
Okay, and here's Rebecca Roach, who's like, NASA had already decided she was smart enough to work at NASA.
Well, I think they changed their mind.
You can be smart enough. You can be good enough for a job, but your mouth can cost you so much. And we're going to talk about that after we go through this ridiculousness. We'll talk about that. Prime example that not everything belongs on social media. She could just as easily have said that out loud or even thought it and kept it moving. I can't believe this is even an argument. If an employer learns that someone they hired isn't going to represent them in a professional way, then they absolutely have the right to release that individual. It is not their job to train someone to be respectful and professional. Thank you. Blake, you're awesome. This person is still an idiot. Okay, so
Wait, the article is funny. Wait, go back down. This is funny though. Go back down. Some commenters on Twitter were quick to say she got exactly what her language deserved. Others, meanwhile, were a little more forgiving. All those comments were what she deserved. One person,
this Rebecca Roach, was basically Rebecca Roach, who's
probably one of the friends.
Mom, I don't know, but yeah,
she's got a blue check mark. So
she's got a blue check mark. What does she do? Who knows? Let's look. She is Rod Little is obsessed with me, sweary. Philosophical rent-a-gob.
How did she get a blue check mark?
How did you get on Weebly? How did you get a blue?
Okay, anyway.
I'm not even gonna question. I don't care. Anyway, so yeah, why is this important relating to comics, animation, video games? Because we're finally starting to see people who have said stupid things on Twitter getting fired. I think there was a fear for the longest time to fire these people because of their Twitter mob. And I think companies are starting to realize that the Twitter mob is not as big as they think.
Well, this person got in trouble because of the mob. Because, I mean, they themselves were saying things they shouldn't have said and done. But Homer Hickam said, I use the F word sometimes. I was worried that this person was going to get in trouble for it, which is why I just said language, because I didn't want them to get in trouble. Because I knew when you're out there, you're invoking the name of NASA, they're going to find it. And to that, which they said what they said, and it escalated because then immediately the mob assumed, you're not allowed to assume, but they're allowed to assume. Yeah. They assumed all kinds of things about him and just went after him. And you kept using the hashtag Twitter, or hashtag NASA, hashtag NASA's hashtag.
Yeah. And
that's what caused her thing, because this mob mentality, not knowing what was going on, they just had to jump in there and learn this old white guy.
Yeah, right.
How dare he?
How dare you tell me I can't be happy to work at NASA? And that's not what he was saying at all. So, you
should go on Drunk History. I
oh my God, Drunk History is awesome.
I've watched Drunk History.
So here's the thing. This is actually, in the entertainment business right now, we are finally starting to see companies wising up and terminating loudmouths. We've seen it in game development. Jessica Price got fired for being combative. We've seen it at various degrees with folks in comics, getting terminated. Because once upon a time, believe it or not, if you were a motor mouth and you said really stupid stuff in public that cost your company money, there were repercussions for that, because you were hired to make the company money, to make the company profitable, and not damage it with your bullshit.
I feel bad because she's super excited. Yeah, I get that she's super excited. I've been really super excited about getting a job. I didn't go online and be like, hey, everybody, shut the F up. Bleepity bleep bleep. I just got hired by so-and-so. And then when someone said, oh, you should be careful with your language, I don't tell them to suck my dick and balls. I mean, I'd feel bad for them, but this is just, they could have easily corrected their, trajectory on this one, and they didn't. So I can't feel too bad because their answer should have been, I'm sorry, Mr. Hickam. I was just really excited. But it wasn't. It was suck my dick and balls and go get 'em mob mentality.
Yeah, you would think if somebody's telling you that, I mean, because usually if somebody takes me on Twitter, a lot of times I will Google them just to see what the deal is. And if this person comes out of the woodwork and is like language, I'd be like, who the hell is Homer Hick? Oh, okay, let's not say suck my dick and balls to him.
And these are not things okay. I guess the guidelines I go by is if you were in public and these people were you were staying with people in public, including your employer, would you say, I just got accepted, everyone shut the fuck up, I just got accepted for a NASA internship? No, you wouldn't. And normally would you say to them, hey, boss, suck my dick and balls? You wouldn't do it.
Yeah, but that's what... Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. You did not have to do that, McKinney90. McKinney says, maybe there's hope at Marvel because of this. Never mind, they're too far gone. Their heads are the ones instigating. That's true. I actually thought, and it's also true that Homer Hickman deleted his Twitter account.
It's Hickam. Yeah, we were getting there.
Hickam,
I keep saying my
it's autocorrect. It keeps autocorrecting.
Yeah, it kept autocorrecting my post to that too. Yeah, he deleted his Twitter account because it got so bad. And so, my next comment is, so wait, he deleted his Twitter account because these people chased him off of Twitter. I mean, it wasn't misogyny? I thought misogyny is what chases all these people off of Twitter. We have to learn all these hateful men.
Twitter's garbage.
Baby fans.
Twitter is such garbage.
So now they chase someone off of Twitter, and that's okay. This guy deserved it because it's still somehow his fault for their bad behavior. But if you chase one of theirs off of Twitter, oh my God.
So let's talk about Marvel, because the situation with Marvel, Axel Alonso, I absolutely think he had to fall on the sword for the shenanigans at Marvel, and we've actually seen some of the other people involved in a lot of the online baiting of fans either be silenced or they've gotten gone from the company completely. And I think this will continue to happen. Now what's going on though? I don't think CB Cebulski has nearly as much sway in Marvel as he's supposed to be the editor-in-chief. I think he's basically the lame duck editor-in-chief because he got called out for that the Japanese pen name fiasco. So Anna Samanat is definitely in charge in Marvel, I think. But I think what's going on is right now that they're kind of relying on these people being freelancers to be like, oh, well, they're technically not employees of the company, so, they can say whatever they want to. They're contractors, which is kind of a cop-out. I mean, it really is. And I just don't think,
even as a contractor, though, with Disney, you usually aren't allowed to just say things. You have to sign agreements and stuff usually about social media and things like that, don't you?
Yeah, but...
We did.
Yeah, but I think the problem with, as I understand it, with Marvel, is that Disney doesn't give a shit about Marvel Comics like they do their other businesses. So I think what happened was Marvel Comics got away with a lot more drama than, because it is a relatively small, it's a very, very small, tiny part of the Walt Disney Company. If you had somebody working in parks or working in, the MCU or something out there saying the stuff that those people were, they probably would have been gone, because you look at how they handled James Gunn, and that didn't, it was just like, you're done. Marvel Comics, I think, is just like, I don't know. I don't think Disney pays attention.
I don't know. But anyway, what was your point to what you were saying?
Point being, saying stupid stuff on Twitter can blow up in your face. I think people in this generation, again, this is, I think, a generational thing. I honestly think that they believe they are impervious to any kind of discipline or repercussions for being stupid, and they think they get multiple chances, and sometimes in real life you get one chance and that's it.
Well, that's
if you blow it, you learn and you can bounce back, but you have to reevaluate how you interact with the world to get a different result.
That's what I was kind of saying on Twitter earlier. I'm like, people, this is not the real world. Twitter and Tumblr is not the real world. You think you can just go in here and say whatever you want and you're going to have some kind of special protection status because of who you are, what you are, who you choose to be. And that's not the case. In the real world, you can't behave this way. And the real world is on Twitter, and you cannot, and a lot of companies do not take kindly to you acting in an unprofessional manner. And I don't understand why, if you went to college or anything else, you don't understand this. By now, I have no words for you. If you haven't learned professionalism by now, you're not gonna.
She's got to be, 20, 21?
I knew how to behave in public by the time I was, 8, 7 or 8.
I was running the composing department of a pretty sizable newspaper by the time I was 22 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, good for you.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, I mean, seriously, like, people today that just they're prolonging adolescence indefinitely. So, let's see. Matt Deckard asked, "How did KMT Kelly Marie Tran talk like she talked?" They have handlers. I think the New York Times probably was looking for a hit piece, and they probably reached out to her to get that, because the timing, we said before, the timing was very curious that her interview dropped right after the backlash over the new animated series, new Star Wars animated series. It seems like it's like clockwork. Every time fans...
I'm sure they got permission because they were using it to deflect.
To deflect. So Lucasfilm's probably like, yes, absolutely. Either that or Lucasfilm threw her at the New York Times. Because I'm sure she didn't do that interview without some kind of...
Yeah, I'm sure. And it was a deflection piece. I'm sure it was. But, what are you going to read now?
No, I was just going to say, it's always deflect. You see how these things work, and it's like clockwork. Like, if there's backlash against something, then here comes the friendly media, like clockwork, with something that might be completely unrelated, but they're going to dredge it up.
Just to take attention
like Ahmed
off
Best
of it.
was a perfect example. Like, I mean, it's tragic that he thought about killing himself, but the timing was
why
just...
bring that up now?
Bringing it up now to make sure that Star Wars fans shut up.
But, I mean, but back to the topic, which is, how do you behave on the internet? Well, here's an idea. If you're going to, when in doubt, act professionally. When in doubt, don't say stupid stuff. When in doubt, if you're, like, worried it could affect your career, don't say it. I mean, how hard is that?
There's no filter anymore.
Or find a way to say it in a nicer way.
Yeah, because been like, hey, everybody, I'm excited. I want to. Yeah, you didn't have to be like, shut the F up.
And then when he said language, even if he said that, shut that, you could have handled it in a way of saying, suck my dick and balls. I mean, you could have said other things. Other things you could have said was, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it would be offensive to people," or, "Oh, that's how we talk now, and I wasn't meaning anything by it." And then what she probably would have said, "Oh, I'm just meaning because they might see it and they might punish you for it. And I would know because I work there."
Yeah.
That could have been handled in so many different, better ways.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, look, I mean, I get he probably feels bad because he's probably like, well, God, if I hadn't answered her. She would have had the internship. I'm also like, if this is her attitude and this is the way she conducts herself, she would not have had that internship very long.
And he should.
Anyway.
And they are. When you see the comments, they're all trying to blame it on him somehow. And I'm like, how is it his fault for their bad behavior? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is Francisco. Yeah, I was actually. It was interesting you brought that up about Ahmed Best. The difference with Ahmed Best and Kelly Marie Tran apparently is the media constantly harassed Ahmed Best. They constantly talked about how Jar Jar was a racist caricature. And as I understand, I watched an interview with him a few years ago on YouTube. It was like the first interview he did. Great interview. Seems like a really, really cool guy who got caught up in something bigger than himself. But he said that he actually gave George Lucas a choice of several different voices, and he went with what was believed to be a racist caricature. That was George Lucas's decision. Ahmed Best is like, I gave him like 5 or 6 different voices, and that's the one he picked. So it's not my fault,
Oh yeah, being trans is not the issue. No, it isn't. That has absolutely nothing to do with it. This is just bad behavior. They were using that to make an issue that wasn't
right,
there.
And that happens a lot of times too, where especially now, bad behavior is bad behavior. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is, what your gender is, what your race is.
And it doesn't. And being a minority, it doesn't give you a special card that allows you to say whatever you want, because then you can say, well, you're just against me because you're this ist or that ist. It doesn't allow you to have some kind of special, privilege that lets you say whatever you want either. And I don't think that's what this is about. This was never about, being trans or anything else. This is about the fact that he's like, language. That's all it was about.
Yeah. He was. I think that
and then they somehow made it about something it wasn't.
He probably was like, professional advice. You're going to work for freaking NASA. You can't, shoot your mouth off like this. So yeah, I mean, it's just this is just very telling, and it's the fact that the mainstream media. This is actually on CNN too. This is not the CNN article, but it actually did make CNN. The fact that CNN is actually covering this now is even like, are they starting to get sick of this? Are
I don't know.
Like, this is not doing anybody any favors.
What was I going to say? What was I reading something? What you missed? Okay, Joseph, you missed it earlier. Yeah, she was sacked basically because she this whole incident, what happened here, and then there was a group. Then a bunch of her friends, like a group mob mentality, started like going after Homer Hickam. And I guess they were using the NASA hashtags, and that's what got NASA's attention because now you're dragging NASA into it in front of everyone.
Yeah,
so
make them look bad.
Even if they didn't do it, the people that were following it did, and it ended up causing a big problem. So that's what ended up getting them taken away ultimately. But,
yeah.
And as far as a comic, I don't know about me. Are you gonna make one about me?
I'll make The Adventures of Geeky Sparkles. She's gonna look like Cooking Mama when she gets angry and her eyes are on fire.
But if you want to see my adventures, just wait until tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, with the adventures.
If you came in later, you missed our
pony. The pony explosion.
We'll recap again for those who came in later. So we did get the Poopsie Unicorn.
Yes.
And I did a video on it. We did a pre-recorded video because I didn't know how long it would take or anything else. So we did a pre-recorded video. It was a complete mess, and there's a reason why I'm not a toy reviewer. They were all playing it over again and over again just to laugh hysterically at me. So it was, I can't even explain what kind of a mess this was. There was Poopsie all over herself. It was in her eyeballs. It's just, anyway, he'll put that up later. Go ahead.
So I'm confused. Was the voice of Jar Jar or NASA legend? No, we're talking about Homer Hickam going off on Naomi H.
He didn't even go off on it. He just said language because he's like, you're gonna get in trouble. So just language.
Like I said, if it were me, but it's a good thing it wasn't like Buzz Aldrin, because Buzz Aldrin would have been like, piss off. He just would not tolerate that at all.
But so that's where does that got brought up later, the stuff with Jar Jar. But yeah, it was, and I still don't understand how when Homer Hickam answers you, and you've got an internship for NASA.
I could, oh my God.
And you don't know who it is.
I could totally see some idiot intern at Lucasfilm shooting their mouth off and George Lucas replying to them nicely. And then being like, who the hell are you, fatty? It's like,
what did you do, invent Star Wars?
Yeah, right. Well, actually, I could totally see that happening. I think Lucas actually seems like the kind of guy that probably would do the same thing Hickam did and be like, oh gosh, I felt bad. She lost her job over me or whatever. And I would
It's not his fault.
No, it's not his responsibility. I mean, seriously, I would get my money back from that university because obviously you're not prepared for the real world. You're behaving worse than a 7th grader,
Well, I do think it's about, being raised that you're never wrong and everybody's a winner and entitlement issues. But, hey, what do I know? I'm just a teacher. So,
Somebody said, we shouldn't be covering this. Shouldn't we focus on the entertainment industry? Well, actually,
we cover a lot of things.
Yeah, the reason we're covering this is because it does relate to what's going on in comics, in animation, in gaming. It's the same attitude where you have people coming into a company not knowing anything about the company, speaking for the company, and then looking like freaking idiots and putting their feet in their mouths and then getting fired.
Not just that. You have a lot of people behaving badly towards customers as well, and that's a problem because if you're telling your customers, we don't want your money, what you bought tickets, you think you have a say in Star Wars, you don't like our books at Marvel, don't buy them, you bleepity bleep bleep bleep, then it's all about professionalism. Whether it be working as an intern for NASA, whether it be working at Marvel, whether it be working for Lucasfilms, whether it be working on your own personal project that's a webcomic or a television show or anything like that you're working on, or even a YouTube channel. There is a level of professionalism that you really should adhere to, at least somewhat, if you want people to, come and look at what you're selling, because if you're telling them,
you are a
suck my dick and balls,
yeah.
That's probably not the proper, well, it depends what you're selling, I guess.
If you're working
that's not the proper way
industry,
to behave. And even then I think some of those people behave better than this, to behave as a professional in any field, especially entertainment.
Yeah, it's making the company look bad. And again, this goes back to Jessica Price, the game developer, getting fired because she was combative with any male gamers on Twitter, basically. Mm-hmm. And then she howled when she got fired. But I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. If you're combative online and you're making the company look bad, then yes, you probably need to go.
Like the anime on Crunchyroll, anime in quotes on Crunchyroll, everybody's having a fit about. A lot of people were mad because Kate Leth's involved, and the reason they're mad because Kate Leth's involved is because she demonstrated some really bad behavior on Twitter, and it soured a lot of people on her because of the way she behaved.
I think if Kate Leth was not associated with the Crunchyroll quote unquote anime, Spice Guardian, Old Spice, whatever, Sugar Spice, whatever it was called. We looked at it the other day. Just look at the video. People would have been like, okay, whatever. It's not anime, but whatever. And they probably would have left it go.
I think if they had, done an actual trailer or not a trailer, it was a Kickstarter.
It was a Kickstarter
PSA about diversity, and they, did we mention we're diverse? We're diverse. Hey, that we were diverse. Did you get that we're diverse?
It's a commercial for your
we're
staff.
diverse.
Yeah.
It's a commercial for the who's who on working on it, and they actually showed a trailer, and they stopped saying it was original in anime. People probably wouldn't have been upset.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole point of this.
The whole point of this being, watch what you say on Twitter. While you can, because I think Twitter's burning to the ground.
I mean, but that's why they didn't like Kate Leth, is because of stuff she would say and the things that she would do on Twitter, and that's why people don't like her. And it's like, people are watching, and you might not be involved in any project right now, so you're like, I can say whatever. But look what happens when you say a lot of shitty things on Twitter, and then
10 years later, 10 years later, when you're working for the Walt Disney Company, and people dig up some old tweets that are really, really freaking creepy, and you get fired for it. Yes, you say creepy, weird, combative crap on social media, and climates change. I mean, what is acceptable now may not be acceptable 4 or 5 years from now. You might say something really stupid in college, and then when you go out into the workforce, guess what? Your employer is going to Google you.
Right.
Or somebody's going to tip them off to the fact that you're just absolutely caustic and toxic, and your online behavior, I don't really think there is much of a separation between the things people say on social media and who they really are. I think
social media allows them to be who they really are.
It takes the inhibitions off. I think it's like, having a drink too many, because there are no consequences, because you're dealing
Little Spice Girls, which I can do. Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I agree, and I think so. The reason we're doing this video is basically like be professional. Watch what you say. Especially if you want to work in any of these industries or anything professional, you're going to have to act professionally. That's the way it is. You don't get to just go around saying what you want to say because, you're so-and-so and you can.
Homer got her a better job. Oh my God, how'd she get a better job?
He got rewarded for bad behavior.
Oh God, welcome to the internet. What do they call it? Failing upwards?
Pretty much.
How do you get a better job after? I would be like, I am never hiring you ever for anything, ever. High Guardian, Old Spice. Oh my God.
So here's the thing. So the lesson learned from them is be a dick, and then you get further ahead.
You know what though? That's actually what infuriates me, because there are people who are terrible people online, and they actually do seem to come out of it with better careers.
For now. I honestly think I believe in karma, and I honestly believe everything bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
I really do. So I don't know. Anything else you want to talk about with this?
No, I think we are. The joke from CD Projekt. Which one was that? I'm trying to keep these. I do know that the what was it? Cyberpunk. Was it Cyberpunk 77?
I don't know.
Was the one joke.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I was gonna say. Oh crap! What was I gonna say? Then I think tomorrow we're gonna try to do a live. If we do live stream, it's gonna be on creating for webcomics and writing and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that stuff, we'll do that tomorrow, because people have been asking about doing more with that. So we'll do one of those tomorrow. You might do games.
Okay, that was Cyberpunk. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure which
yeah.
studio it was. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a joke. I mean, I think it was a joke. I mean, nobody jokes on Twitter anymore, though.
You're not allowed to joke.
You're not allowed to joke.
You're not allowed to joke.
Twitter's just bad.
Apparently, you're not allowed to be professional either. And it's just. I still love it. They chase him off of Twitter, and where's the outrage? Where's all the misogyny comments and all that? Someone left Twitter. Where's the misogyny? Oh wait, it doesn't count when it's us.
No, Twitter's gonna burn. I think Twitter's gonna be gone in the next 5 years, unless another company comes in and buys it. I don't see how. I mean, they've successfully managed to piss off everybody at this point, and it has no no value. I mean, it really doesn't have any value. Advertisers aren't touching it.
Like someone else said,
horrible.
and Tumblr are interchangeable, and I totally agree
Yeah.
with that. I mean, it didn't used to be, but that's the case now. Also, I was gonna tell you, you're gonna put that video up. It's the video with the Poopsie Pony, which
Poopsie
is
Pony.
my really bad attempt at a toy review. It went everywhere. It was just a mess. There was glitter and sparkles and shimmer all over the place. And I was trying to stick a stick up her rear end and everything. It was she has a big hole in her crotch.
Yeah, it looks.
It's just.
She's got a heart-shaped hole in her nether regions.
Was it heart shaped?
Yes.
So anyway.
Hey, I had the camera. It totally was.
We'll be putting that up. So watch for that.
You need to do longer streams.
Sometimes we do an hour and a half ones.
I know. We don't. I mean, we're just so busy. We're so busy. Yeah, we'll definitely put the video up. I'll try to get to it later tonight.
I did hear about the CEO of Twitter having to show up in the government, talk about, what's going down.
Oh, the shadow banning? And,
yeah. I did hear
it's so
about
funny
that.
because conservatives are like, hey, we're being shadow banned. And then liberals are like, why don't you kick Alex Jones off of Twitter? So it's like, like I said, they're successfully pissing off everybody at this point. And they've been hemorrhaging money for a while. Like, Twitter is not... Well, they're not really hemorrhaging money. They're not growing. I mean, they've been stagnant for years. People have been saying Twitter's dead for like 3 years now and still survives.
Oh somehow. No, this is not porn. This is not an adult toy of any time. This is a toy for kids on the shelves right now. She looks like our son calls her prostitution pony. She's very tarted up, and when you open the box, she's naked. That's a whole other story.
Oh, God.
She has no clothes when you open the box.
If you look at, we had a video a couple days ago. We saw it in Walmart, and people actually gave us money on the live stream to go buy it. So we bought this $50 pony.
It's $50. And it's a mess. I'm like, if you're a parent and you're thinking about buying this for your kid for Christmas, if you don't mind gigantic messes, because if you don't have the hole closed properly, this sounds really wrong. But if you don't turn the lever to have her hole closed, it just goes everywhere, and it's a mess. And it's anyway. So we got the unicorn. I was gonna find it for you. So I did do it. Our daughter actually does toy reviews, and she's gonna do a review of it. That's a better review tomorrow.
There it is.
Of an actual review. Don't do what I did. It was just all kinds of mess.
I'm gonna skip the ads because these people don't deserve my money.
See this is
this thing.
The tart. It's the
videoception. We're watching our own video.
Look at that.
She's like a little tardy.
So pony. I did it anyway. I did do the video.
We bought the. Horse.
He's gonna put it up. It is a mess.
She poops slime. She's a mess. She's just a mess.
But don't. Our daughter's gonna do a video showing how to do it properly. I was doing it all wrong apparently, and her belly button got pushed in, and there was orange crap everywhere, and it was in her hair. And anyway, go ahead.
She sprayed all over the place.
It was not pleasant. Anyway,
so it'll be a surprise. It's Geeky's one of her only. Have you done toy? You've done toy reviews.
I helped
before.
our daughter a couple, but they put me in charge, and it did not go well.
It was
Cookie Swirl C. I am not.
No, this is not going to be a very. I do want to get some like kick-ass toys. Like somebody tagged me in yesterday on the new Funko Thundercats ones. Yeah, it's my little bleep pony. Oh no.
Anyway, Thundercats. Yeah, the Thundercats look really cool.
Yeah, Thundercats. The Funko Thundercats look really awesome.
Clarify, the Funko Thundercats look really good.
Yeah, we've all pooped slime. So... Yeah, she just oh my god. Yeah, it's a mess. We'll get that up. We'll get that up later tonight.
Oh, so. We just do the toy reviews on our other one, which is actually a family-friendly channel.
It's the family-friendly channel. They actually send us toys to review sometimes.
MGA is not going to send me
MGA
anything after my video.
Us nothing. You are getting nothing from MGA.
Oh, yeah. It's if you go to Clownfish TV.
Oh, thank you, James. You do not have to do that. Yes, we bought the unicorn.
We're gonna put the video up. He's gonna try to get it up. Because,
$50 for this mess of a unicorn.
Because but it's Clownfish TV Family is the other channel, which is mostly
strictly family.
It's like mostly family friendly things like little Toca Boca games and little toy reviews and things like that. So
yeah, it's nothing dirty. So but we're gonna put the unicorn review on this channel.
Yeah, my review is gonna be on this channel.
Yeah, it's not. Oh God, we can't put the review of that unicorn on the family channel. There's no
our
way.
daughter's gonna do a family friendly version of it for the family channel. But my review, which is not family friendly, I stick I've shoved a stick up her hole and everything else. Not intentionally. I did afterwards. Neon's like, well, you're just shoving that stick up her hole. I don't know what you're what you were doing.
Yeah, they're not going to send us any free toys. I can tell you. Well, MGA, they're the folks who did Bratz, and they've always done kind of risque toys. And this one's like the worst of the bunch.
Look at the bubble butt. Like,
Yeah.
It's like one of those like little silhouettes you see on cars. Like, ooh, that's what it reminds me. Anyway,
look for it on this channel later tonight. Look for the squirting unicorn.
It was in her hair. It was
so
up in her eyeball.
It was.
Her hole was open, not shut. It's a long story.
There was sticky stuff all over the place. It was awful. How did we go from Homer Hickam to this?
I bet. Oh dang! I'm gonna lose my internship for Naz. Sorry.
I need to do one more. How Trek went to hanging the bridge to people that sit in the chair instead of working for it. Yeah, I don't know. Star Trek. I haven't watched Star Trek since Deep Space Nine. Honestly, I watched a little bit of Enterprise, and then after that, I just lost interest. So I don't know. Is this DeviantArt? Yeah, pretty much. This is DeviantArt, the toy.
When that thing was completely full, when we did this video a couple days ago, and we went back and it's empty. I got 2 of those little slime cans. I did get one for our daughter to review, but they're completely empty now. And these things are like, if people were joking, this is probably going to be the big toy this year for Christmas. I'm wondering if they're right because you can't find them now. There were 2 on the shelf that day. There was only one.
Okay, we're going back to Homer Hickam and his furry friend here. Yeah, so that's okay. People say, no, you can talk about the unicorn.
Oh, no, it's okay. There's not much I can say. You just have to watch it.
Yeah. So the unicorn is a big sticky.
If you're new to our channel,
mess.
we kind of go all over the place. Like we're talking about 80s cartoons, and somehow we end up on Christian porn. We just do this all the time, where we just randomly just start on one thing and end up somewhere else. But Homer Hickam. Homer Hickam is important. You should know who Homer Hickam is.
Yeah, you should. And I think he was being entirely too kind. But he's a better person than I am.
I mean, he probably should have said more than just language. He probably should have said like, I work for NASA. I want to watch your language.
Or he could have DM'd her and said,
But if he'd done that, let's be honest. If he'd done that, it would have been some old white guy's writing me privately and telling me I need to watch my language. How dare he? And misogyny or something like that. That's what would have happened.
Yeah, if it had been a private message, it would have been posted publicly because there's nothing. I mean, just be aware if you.
We had Lego sets for years.
Reach out to these kinds of people. They're going to make sure that everybody on Tumblr and Twitter knows what an awful person you are. That's just the way it works. So
yeah,
you're
and
better
there's
off
a mob mentality.
Don't engage. Just
don't engage. Don't engage.
That's the best advice. Just
act professionally and don't engage. Is that we get engaged because we like to poke the bear because we're whack like that. Like, ooh, what happened if I say this?
NASA should hire unicorns. The people they're hiring think they're unicorns. That's part of the problem. Actually, I think Homer Hickam is going to go work for the Space Force now.
Is he?
I don't know.
I think isn't he retired?
He's
on the council, but I think he's retired by now. He's like older than my dad, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else?
No, I can't think of anything else. Just watch.
Just be better.
Yeah.
Behave professionally, because even if you're not doing anything currently, if you have any inkling of possibly maybe doing something like for a company or working on your own stories or doing animations or anything like that, it might come back to bite you in the butt. Unless you're certain people, and then apparently you get hired for it.
Yeah.
But the climate's changed, like you said, Yeah,
the climate's changed. But I mean, again, James Gunn never imagined 10 years ago he'd be working for the Walt Disney Company. I mean, especially doing the kinds of movies he was doing. Like, why would you think you're going to work for Disney? You don't know where your career is going to go. And when you put stuff out there in public, it
So err on the side of caution. If you want to say stuff like, suck my dick and balls, don't say it in publicly. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Space Force better have freaking giant robots. That's all I'm asking.
What's going on about Drunk History? I like Drunk History.
Drunk History is awesome.
Drunk History is awesome.
Oh my god. So you serious, Matt? You got to be.
Right, they asked to be a Drunk History. So.
I will drink. Geeky will go on Drunk History. You almost have your art history.
I almost have a degree in history.
Master's degree in art history.
Yes.
So you can talk about Egypt.
I know lots about Egypt and Greece and ancient Rome and things.
Get Geeky drunk and she'll talk about Cleopatra.
I even did a paper. Are you ready for this? I even did a paper on women in the ludi, which was the entertainment in ancient Greece, and I had to do a whole. You know how hard it is to find information on women in ancient Greece. It's not as easy as you think. But it wasn't even for a women's studies class. It was for a history class. But I wasn't doing it because of women's studies. That was one of the topics we could pick, and I went and picked the hardest one because that's how I was. I like a challenge. Damn it.
She likes it hard.
I do. I like hard things. I like difficult things. I like the struggle.
And that's why she married me, because I am nothing but a giant struggle.
That's that. Yes.
I am a colossal asshat, and I freely admit that. And I don't even need alcohol to admit that. But that's okay.
All right. So,
Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up.
Tomorrow we're going to talk. You might play a game tomorrow. I don't know. And then we might do one tomorrow on creation, like story stuff, webcomics, writing, whatever. If you have questions, come tomorrow. We'll try to answer them. And hopefully we won't turn it into, Christian porn or something.
No. Have you seen his game?
You don't want to see me drunk. I don't even know what I'd say. And honestly, I've said you keep joking I should do that. And I'm afraid to because I don't know what I'd say. And like Twitter, we don't want to say things that are, too badly that are going to come back and bite you in the butt later. And if I have some alcohol, it would not be good. I mean, it would be good, but it would not be good for me. So
that is a career killer. I don't know. I'm beginning to wonder if anything you say can actually kill a career now, because it does seem like people are just like, okay, cool, whatever, James
okay.
got, never mind.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I
want to get my video up where I
we gotta get
do things with a pony. So let's go.
Okay, we'll get your pony video up here. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for commenting. Thank you very much for the super chats. You didn't have to do that, but we
pay for the unicorn.
It pays for the unicorn. That was a $50 mess that we had. So definitely.
If you have children and they ask for it, I don't know why. Watch the video. You might not want to buy
it's like moon sand.
It's just everywhere.
It's just
everywhere.
It's all over the place. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back eventually. We need to get a schedule. We just never know what our
yes. Okay.
So wrap it up. I'm gonna go edit the unicorn video.
Bye.
Bye.